All right, so here we're going to continue on page 4, which this is 8.6, part 2. But you can see here that it's got the greatest common factors. All right, it says that right here, with greatest common factors, which means on all of these, before we go into our box method, you will be looking for a greatest common factor, except number 6. I forgot to put one on that one. That's my bad. So number 1, for example, I'm going to look and see what can I divide all of these numbers by. The answer to that is 2. So it gives me 2x squared plus 3x plus 1. So as far as my final answer goes, 2 is already there. The GCF has to stay, and he's going to hang out and wait for us to finish factoring this. And to finish factoring this, we're going to use our box method. If you remember from the previous videos, that your A term goes here, your C term goes here, the A term gets the x squared, and then the 2 blanks will have those. Now do notice that I'm using this as my A and C. Don't go back to the original equation, the original expression. That's not what we want. We want to first take our greatest common factor and then use what's left over for the box. So I'm now looking for A times C, which will be 2. So I'm looking for numbers that multiply to 2, that add to our B value, which in this case is 3. So they need to multiply to 2. So that came from A times C. And they need to add to our B value, which is in this case 3. So the answer to that is 2 and 1. Because 2 times 1 is 2. 2 plus 1 is 3. So now we do our greatest common factors. And our greatest common factors. So here it is just an x. Here it's just a 1. Here it is a 2x. And here it's just a 1. Telling us that our final answer over here is going to be 2x plus 1 and x plus 1. So the 2x plus 1, x plus 1, it foils back out to just the blue part underlined in yellow. Then when you reintroduce the 2, it would take you back to the original expression. So let's do another one. Let's do number 3. Greatest common factor on this one's going to be 10, leaving us with 3y squared plus y minus 2. So my 10 is already there as a part of my answer. To figure out the rest, we're going to use our box method. But we're using, just like last one, this after we removed the greatest common factor. So I need my A and my C. And I need numbers that multiply to A times C, which will be negative 6, that also add to our B value. And our B value in this case is a invisible 1 right there. So that's what I'm looking for, numbers that do both of those. And that's going to be a negative 2 and a positive 3. Those guys multiply to negative 6 and add to a 1. So I've got negative 2y and 3y. If I haven't stated this, the order does not matter. It all sorts out. You know, when I'm filling in those remaining 2 boxes, you could have put the 3y and the negative 2y in opposite spots and it would still work. So I've got my greatest common factors. And remember, on the greatest common factor part, we only pull out a negative if the on 2 of the boxes. So this first one, we're just pulling out a 3 and a y. This next one, because this is a negative here, on this box, we have to check to see if we need to pull out a negative. In this case, we do. It'd be a negative 2. On this arrow, our first term was positive, so I'm not pulling out a negative. It's just a y. And then on this one, this guy is positive, so I'm not going to pull out a negative. So it will just be a 1. All right, which tells me over here that I've got 3y minus 2 and a y plus 1. And you can check that out to see that it does in fact multiply out to what we had underlined above in red. Okay. So let me bring us down here to number 17, where our greatest common factor is an x. And I know that because if you look at all three of those terms, they all had an x to give. So that then leaves us with 2x squared minus 3x minus 5. So this is what I'm going to factor. The x is already there. I'm going to use my box method here. Here's my a, here's my c. So I need numbers that multiply to a times c, which is negative 10. Sorry, I forgot to put the square right there with my a value. That also add to my b term, which if I go here in green is negative 3. And the answer to that is negative 5 and 2. Negative 5 and 2 multiplies to negative 10 and adds to negative 3. So we have negative 5x and a positive 2x. So it's time for greatest common factor. Here we have a 2 and an x. Here, because of this negative, we have a negative 5. On this one, our leading term, the 2x squared, is not negative, so it's just a positive 1, x, so positive x. And then right here, once again, my leading term is positive, so just a 1. Telling me here that I have 2x minus 5 and an x plus 1. And if you FOIL that out, you'll see that it does, in fact, take us back to what we had tried to factor right there. And then since this one is the zero product property, I'm going to set up all three of these pieces equal to 0. And solve. So this one, I would add 5 to both sides and divide by 2. This one has to subtract by 1. So there's our 3 answers. So we've now done the box method up on here 6 times. If you need more assistance on that, schedule a meeting with me as we come into the end of this year so that we can get our factoring when a is not 1 mastered by using this box method. All right, so these remaining pages, we've got this one's special cases. So I'll talk to you guys about our special cases here. There's 2 kinds of special cases. There's some that'll look like this, and then there's some that'll look like this. And this could be a plus or a minus right there. When we have the 2 terms, it's guaranteed to be 1 positive, 1 negative. When we have these 3 terms, and I tell you it's a special case, it's guaranteed to turn into the same thing squared, if I tell you they're special cases. Which means we're going to be using square roots to help us find this. We'll square root that number and that number. We'll square root that number and that number. This page should be the fastest out of all of them. This is x plus 5, x minus 5. This is square rooting the 9 to get x squared to get 3x and 3x. Square rooting the 1 to get 1 and 1. 1 positive, 1 negative. On the trinomial ones, I told you they're special cases. So the square root of x squared is x and x. Square root of 9 is 3 and 3. The sign in the middle tells me if I need it to be positive or negative. It's the same thing twice. This one here, 2a and 2a, which came from the square root of 4a and 4a. Square root of 25 is 5 and 5. You're going to need subtraction signs because that's what's right here. That's the same thing twice. Now, if you're wondering, could I use the box method to get that answer? because you didn't realize it was a special case? The answer to that is yes, you would be able to do that. I just want to point this out that if I tell you it's special cases, you can do it fast, but you can use the box method if you want, because that would be 4a squared, 25. My a times c is 100, so I need numbers that multiply to 100, that add to my b value, which is a negative 20. The answer to that is negative 10 and negative 10. So then when I go to do my greatest common factors, I've got 2a. Sorry, I forgot my a's here. And when I go here, because that a is negative, I get a minus 5. And then here, I've got a 2a again. And then here, I've got another minus 5. You'll see I get 2a minus 5, 2a minus 5. The box method does work. It's just that if I tell you there's special cases, you can do it much faster. So this would be applying that concept in solving. So you'd factor the same way and use the zero product property. The final 2 pages are a combination of both. Page 6 being, all you have to do is factor. Page 7 is where you have to factor and use the zero product property. So the only thing I want to highlight on this is when to use the box method. The box method comes after you check for a GCF. If you check for a GCF, if you still have a number here that's greater than 1, that's when you need the box method. So for example, number 2, I look and see, is there a greatest common factor? There is not. So I'm jumping into my box method because I have a 12 out front. So I put my a value, put my c value. I'm looking for numbers that multiply to a times c, that also add to a negative 11. It's negative 8 and negative 3. And I do my greatest common factor. So this would be a 3x. This would be a negative 2. This would be a 4x. This would be a negative 1. So this would factor 2, 3x minus 2, and 4x minus 1. And you could FOR that out if you wanted to, and you'd recognize that you do, in fact, get right back to that. So I just wanted to point that out on this page. But also on this page, you might see some special cases, or you might not. You know, you can check that one. It could be a special case because that got perfect square, perfect square. This one has a GCF of x to get started. And a GCF of 3. So this one ends up, after a greatest common factor, being the easy type, to where I just need numbers that multiply to negative 24, that add to a positive 2. Sorry, add to a negative 2, that'd be negative 6, positive 4. So you'll get a whole mixture on number 6 and number 7. So be sure to use all of our different methods from the previous pages to help accomplish your goals.